Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site as an archive post thingy there, and everything is also on Patreon for extra support. And any kind of updates and the such I usually go about on Twitter. Regarding the channel update, today it's no gameplay. I will try to get around and see if I can do a stream. Probably I will be managing to upload or publish the last the VOD from the last stream that I made. It's been a couple of days that I didn't manage to go about doing a live stream on Elden Ring. It's again, it's finicky in terms of scheduling because of my work schedule. Being a freelancer, I don't have a fixed schedule and can be an annoyance even for me. But I will try to see if I can do anything today. But yeah, basically that's it. And again, the gameplay series will resume Monday as usual. But yeah, but I think basically that's it. Let's see if I can do some streaming today. Just pay attention to my Twitter. When I can, I just tweet it out when I'm streaming there. We got some interesting news continuing. With industry-wise in terms of chip manufacturing, and the pressure continues from United States government regarding China stuff there. This time seems to be that they just want, I say ASML. It's a Dutch company that usually does the tooling for the manufacturing of the chips. Usually it's the advanced deep ultraviolet, so lithography kind of a thing there. Basically what they want, given that again I don't know what they're trying to do here. I know what they're trying to do, but I don't know how this is going to turn out for them. Basically using this kind of systems from ASML, at the moment, due to restrictions from the Dutch government, that I suppose is coming a lot from the US pressure to do this kind of banning exports to China regarding this kind of equipment. But they still can, or they still need to do the maintenance on those manufacturing machines, let's say. And even that is not very well accepted by US supposedly. So what they're trying to do is supposedly next week they will try to urge the Dutch government to prohibit from servicing already installed tools at facilities in China, which if you think about this usually doesn't go well, because when you in this kind of things, when you buy a machine, you also buy a maintenance package, let's say. So as long as the machine is working through a determined period of time, I don't know if it's like 2-3 years, they have to pay the maintenance, the service of the maintenance of those machines. And of course, if by any chance the company stops doing it, you can start some lawsuits coming out from the clients itself, which is usually not good. Now, not only just that, when you start doing this kind of things, again, it's like an overall trend, is you pass the message that to any kind of potential client, given if it is China or any other country, that your company might be, how do I say it? They might be easily pressured of, or not even selling you the things, in this case, this kind of machines, or even after bought, they can easily be pressured for the government of not being even to service those machines, which by itself you give the extension of the reputation of that company not being good. And with that, if you not have a good reputation, people will not buy your products to a certain degree. They will try to find alternative ways to do so. Even though I think these kind of machines, a lot of them come from the Dutch countries in terms of lithography, but I think that there is a little bit competition in that market. Even though I think the most advanced ones are from the Dutch companies regarding lithography, from what I understood. Yeah, again, I kind of understand the point of view of trying to ban future sales, but when you have contracts in place and if you're um, uh, how do I say it? If you want to maintain those contracts as a, at least as a matter of reputation, you have to maintain the service of those machines. At least from that point of view, in terms of how you run a business, like with everything, not just with this kind of things. And this can to a certain extent, if it was something that the in this case, let's suppose China was doing to other countries, there will be an uproar here. But again, they just want to brute force themselves and trying to force their hand in being more competitive, let's say. So throughout like mafia style is okay, because I want to be stronger than you in this field, I'm just going to prohibit everything and I will keep everything for me, even though that even new fabs that they are supposedly being built in the United States, they are not that good in terms of advanced things, that they are just drop in a bucket in terms of high tech, how they are high tech, that they are like 2 to 3 generations delayed from the fabs. There are the high-end fabs that are being used on Taiwan and China. But yeah, it's not bodes well in the long term. A lot of companies might go under if the, and also you're just pressuring those countries to be autonomous and self-reliant on this thing. It might, in the short term, it will cause a certain effect. But yeah, if you just mandating basic to a certain point that the country has to be self-reliant or something, when they are self-reliant, they don't need any business out of their own country, which by itself can and then you're basically presenting competition on the market itself by putting other countries to be self-reliant on this kind of technology, especially in this kind of technologies. But it will take a little bit more time. At least that's my perspective on things. I might be wrong, but yeah. And of course, even in the company itself, in terms of business-wise, not good, because if they are restricting for servicing its installed tools at certain China fabs, this could impact its financial results, of course. The service revenue, just by servicing the machines, the revenue that they have from this is around 6 billion from last year, and plus of course the lawsuits they can face by breaching contract on the servicing things, because the clients are paying for that service maintenance there. Usually I think it's a yearly fee that they pay to maintain, and the thing is that these kind of machines need to be fairly maintained throughout the year. Again, I assume because they are high precision, they have to be recalibrated every now and often. And I suppose because they are very high end, they have a lot of troubleshooting to do also. So yeah, this is not good news for anybody. Also, especially for consumer wise, because if they get interrupted in terms of manufacturing, there will be less things to be sold there because they are not being manufactured, and the prices will ramp up, as you might imagine. Yeah, as it mentioned here, need regular service from qualified professionals and all that jazz. Just a quick thing here. In last year, the US urged Japan, Netherlands, also some Netherlands things also, I think. But which are the Dutch? I think that's how it goes. Netherlands, it's one of the Dutch countries or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. And Taiwan to follow its export controls rules and strict sales of advanced fab tools. As you can see, 40 nanometers and 80 nanometers DRAMs and smaller, which is by extent this is very old, this kind of manufacturing process. And 128 layer 3D NAND, which usually we see on the X3D CPUs there, this kind of technology there. Yeah, supposedly last year they could still service those tools, those machines there. But yeah, I don't know why they put Taiwan here. I think so far, at least in the United Nations, everybody agrees that Taiwan is part of China. I don't know why there's this discussion here. I kind of know because from part of the United States, everybody knows that Taiwan, the island of Taiwan, is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, and most advanced hub in terms of microchip manufacturing. And yeah, and I think yeah, I don't have it here, but even after the earthquake there, this past week, they managed to keep the schedule in terms of production. So I think it didn't affect it that much in terms of the infrastructure of the fabs there. I think they are the scheduling for the rest of the year is still on par with everything. So I think even though it's one of the biggest earthquakes. Again, I suppose they already do the when they do the construction of these fabs, they take into account a possible earthquakes there. But yeah, in terms of overall things, if this goes forward, there are going to be a lot of trouble, especially in Europe where you don't have a lot of manufacturing here. If companies start being prohibited by their own governments of complying with the existing contracts in terms of maintenance of the machines itself, this is not going to be good. If that's so, I predict a lot of loss of jobs and companies going down, and you are just force yourself on other countries. In this case, we are covering China to be self-reliant. It will take some time, but they can manage. When you already put throughout this last 30 years, you put all the manufacturer in the world, on quotes of course, a lot of the manufacture that is done from the world, it's done in China, and to a certain extent in India. You just they already have, they can retro engineer things there, and I think they can go about this and be self-reliant on this kind of tooling, even if it is high precision. They just, if there is, it just buy out the peoples and the engineers and all those guys. If they need to be, they have enough resources for that. So I don't, in the long term, it's not going to affect the course of action of companies, and usually that's again, we'll see how it goes throughout the year. Maybe in the next month we will get some news regarding this. I'm not sure. I will try to keep my eyes on it. Continue with AMD and China. They have their own kind of China-exclusive AM5 processors, the F series, a lot of them at least, which don't have the integrated GPU there. We're seeing some benchmarks here of the newest one they released, so the 8400F and the 8700F. Again, they seem pretty decent. They don't. They're not that good as the other counterparts. Again, I suppose a lot of it is taking advantage of some of the yields that the iGPUs not working proper, or they don't clock that higher. They just cut down and make this kind of versions, so at least they can sell as a product. And because usually with all the bannings and restrictions, they, at least I think it's slow enough, they can sell on the China market there as an exclusive at this moment in time. And of course, in terms of marketing, is good. We are just making this specifically to this market, it's exclusive to this market. And also, again, there is a lot of demand on this kind of chips on the Chinese market, and people tend to forget this is a huge market. You got a lot, you got at least almost 1.5 billion people there, so the market in anything, it's huge there. So yep, hopefully again, this is Chinese exclusive at this moment in time, but yeah, they don't perform that bad comparatively, at least in terms of synthetic benchmarks. They don't perform that badly regarding the other counterpart that have the G in the case of 8700G, and even from the 7500F. Yeah, they don't perform that bad. regarding that. And again, they are cheaper alternatives, so it's always good to see that at least there is some other stuff that people like, alternatives that people can go for. Regarding gaming news, supposedly, yesterday I saw some rumblings here. Again, a lot of leaks and rumors and all that stuff. Supposedly, Xbox showcase is slated for June. Usually, it seems to be a trend. It's going to be usually after E3 or something like that, or during E3. But there is no E3 anymore, and in that place we got Summer's Game Fest. Supposedly it will take June 9, so after the Sunday after the Summer Game Fest. At least that's my perception there. And we might see there was some speculation regarding Gears of War 6, but most probably we might get a little bit more information regarding the Indiana Jones game, which well, we'll have to wait and see how that one will go. We got more Microsoft Flight Simulator 2 2024, more Avowed stuff. Again, Avowed is not even yet out yet, I think. Yeah, it's the... Okay, I was confusing with another game. And some of the leakers here with their some journalists with their inside information. Probably this year's Call of Duty might be announced there, mainly because of the acquisition of Microsoft, the acquisition of Activision from Microsoft. Probably we'll start seeing those things on Xbox, because again, they are now part of Microsoft there. There's been another thing that from Windows Central, Jez Corden seems to be hinting State of Decay 3 will be shown. I think I heard some rumblings on this game almost 2 years ago, but yeah. Maybe some news from Fable, which I'm not excited at all. Perfect Dark, again, I heard some rumblings. I think I covered the rumblings of Perfect Dark remake. I think it's going to be a remake or reboot, I'm not sure. And probably Contraband from Avalanche Studios, and supposedly there's Wu-Tang Clan RPG. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff they can go about it. And just a reminder, last Xbox showcase we got Starfield stuff, Forza Motorsport. Yeah, it didn't go very well for both of these games. We got Senua's, so Hellblade 2, which is supposedly going to launch by the end of this month. Avowed still got some combat highlights there, stuff there. Okay, and again, a lot of these games. This South of Midnight, which is something that is being seeing some rumblings because of the Sweet Baby Inc. thing. I think they did a lot of consultancy on this game here. Yeah, might be a no-go for a lot of people. Then yeah, we got something from Microsoft Flight Simulator at the time, and then this one seems a little bit more in line with my interest. Clockwork Revolution, the same studio that has been doing Wasteland 2 and Wasteland 3. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see until June to see what kind of things we're going to be shown that. And lastly, we got again, I also been seeing a lot of rumblings regarding Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know what's happening in Ubisoft there. They announced that we're going to have a story trailer, world premiere, as they like to announce, on Tuesday. So about 3 or 4 days, give or take. Again, this game piqued my interest a little bit, but again, I need to see a lot more than what we already saw. Again, the Snowdrop engine seems pretty good. We just need to see in terms of performance how it can deal with open world kind of a thing there, because the way it's being built, it's like huge areas, not open world, but it's got huge areas. Got some little out of planet navigation with star ships there, but it's not very I don't know, No Man's Sky kind of a thing there. Yeah, but yeah, I need to know more about the story. Supposedly the mechanic seems to be okay, the way supposedly they are announcing this, which is basically you can accept jobs here and there, or contracts, You can side or not with certain factions, and how those consequences can be have the in terms of gameplay opportunities there. I don't know if it is going to increase the replayability of the game itself, and how it can affect the main story there with different endings. But yeah, I really hope this is a good one, because Ubisoft needs a really good game. They are butchering a lot of their own franchises, and this is their first Star Wars game, I think, in a while at least, if not the first time ever. I'm not sure, because for a long time EA was having the exclusivity of the games there. But yeah, hopefully this will be a good one. Hopefully, at least at the same level of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, at least from what I played so far, something like that. Has some consistency, doesn't break the lore too much, and doesn't put any woke shit on us. But yeah, hopefully we'll get a decent game out of this one. But yeah, basically this is it in terms of the news. I'm just going up with some gaming deals. We still have for free the Outer Worlds Space of Choice Edition, so it has all the DLC. This is I think this is not the like the high end with the improved graphics stuff, if not mistaken. I think this is the base game with the DLC, and not the updated graphic version there. And we also have Fifth. I think this is the kind of soft reboot, so the latest Fifth that came out. It's also for free. Again, I will leave everything on the description in terms of links there. On Steam, we still have now Darkest Dungeon 90% off, and you got I think I'm not sure which one is the best in terms of thing, but I think it's a regularly bundle, and got also the Iron Crown, but they are pretty well discounted there, so I think it's a good deal there. We got also again The Witcher Wild Hunt. Again, around 1 day and a half, give or take. Again, the complete edition is the way to go. As I always says, I recommend the first playthrough vanilla wise, and then you can use some mods, visual mods. It's my recommendation, and then I recommend you on the second and third playthroughs and the subconsequent ones. You can start tweaking with mods. There are a lot of mods there for sure. I'm not sure on here on Steam, but there is a lot of mods that people gather around for that in terms of gameplay, which ones are the best, and some of them are more aimed to try to achieve certain aspects of in terms of gameplay there. We got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy 75% off. We got King Arthur Knight's Tale, sorry, 60% off, and then we got also I'm not sure about, again, I don't know sure about these packs, but I think they are pretty decent enough. They're not very expensive there, and yeah, the game is at a good value point there. Very, very good. It's in vein with this kind of XCOM turn battle style there, and got a lot of in terms of lore. I think they do a good approach there on King Arthur's kind of a lore there. I think it's a pretty decent approach, and again, very positive reviews overall. Got also Dawnkeeper, 50% off. I think this is a pretty decent one if you like this kind of games. It's again very positive reviews. Again, celebrating. Yeah, as you can see on the trailer itself, it seems pretty good. It's kind of my jam. Again, when I have time, I will buy it and play it for sure. Got Liza Pi, 30% off. The deluxe edition, I think it's okay. The deluxe specs, I don't know what it brings. But yeah, it's a very very good Souls-like games, more in line with Bloodborne in terms of how certain mechanics work, if not mistaken. But yeah, it's one of those that I will try out for sure one of these days. We got also Dredge, 30% off. This is the deluxe edition. Yeah, the deluxe edition is it's at the same price of a base game basically. That's where the promotion is at this moment in time. We got also Death Stranding Director's Cut. Again, this is a recommendation for me. We got it still 1 day and a half to buy this game. The director's cut is the way to go. I've been enjoying a lot the game, at least what I played so far. Yeah, it's a very Kojima game, but yeah, the mechanics there. A lot of the stuff reminds me, especially on the user experience, reminds me a lot of Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. A lot of similarities there under the hood, at least what it seems to me. And the way you progress and you have like upgraded stuff there, very similar in that sense. But yeah, pretty decent there. Very good game. I'm enjoying a lot. And the story, of course, is weird on its own, but some themes there you can get some themes and what he's trying to get around there. And lastly, we got Cyberpunk 2077. Again, the way to go, it seems to me, it's the Ultimate Edition because of Phantom Liberty and all the updates. Again, the version of the game is already updated for free, but I think Phantom Liberty introduced the relic system, which I think it's an improvement for end game stuff there. But yeah, it's 43% off at this moment in time. And yeah, basically is what I got for you today, guys. Hopefully later I can do some stream there, and I'm just going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon here for extra support. At this moment in time, the extra support is more focused on getting myself decent storage for me to be able to get backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for videos that I do for the channel. And but like I said, guys, I hope you have fun for today, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.